If you look at all the building complexes around the park, they were going to be marketed towards young people, middle class, upper middle class, young professionals. I think when you're renting and you're young, it's like out of sight, out of mind.
There's these other people, they're not here long enough to maybe get the health issues that's going to attack them in their 20 years or 30 years if they stay here that long. And if they don't clean this up, they're surely going to have problems. My name is Tom Stagg. I'm 58 years old. I lived here all my life. I'm presently at 156 Newell Street. I've been witnessing a lot of my friends who I grew up with die of cancer. And on a block has about 36 people that I know that have developed cancer. And this
36?
36.
Now, what do you think is causing this cluster?
Well, I believe the oil under the ground is surely a contributor. If you can go to a gas station and pump gas in your car, and they're giving you a warning there, and you're there for 2 minutes with the price of gasoline today. I says, every time the wind blows from that creek this way over the last 50 years, I'm breathing in these fumes.
This is 54 Hausman Street. Dorothy is the one who became the benefactor of wonderful benzene fumes after her next-door neighbor had his backyard drilled. Can you show us where they capped everything?
This is one of the caps, and they had a big stack. And the stack had like a wheel that went around that actually drew the fumes out, whatever was left.
And those fumes would go where?
Probably into the atmosphere. They wore suits. The guys that were sealing the boring, they had suits on. So once I came home and I had a mini oil well here. Yeah. It went all the way up like an oil well, and I went, all right. That's how they went down and sealed it. It looked like a mini oil well. My husband died of liver cancer, and some people brain cancer.
You still want to know why,
yeah.
How?
Yeah. But according to the Department of Health, they said we're not in that area. I don't know what you call it, the area. Do they just take one little section, or do they take all the green points?
The oil spill has as one of its constituents benzene. Benzene is one of the only known and listed carcinogens. In the 30 years that this case has been a matter of public record, there's never been a single public health study. Not a single public health study. And the companies have resisted it, the state hasn't done it, feds haven't done it, people have been calling for it. Until we find out, who's at risk, and if they're at risk, how they're getting sick from this spill, if they are. For the government and the oil companies to tell us that there's nothing to be worried about is totally short-sighted and irresponsible.
I know a lot of people in the neighborhood who've either had brain tumors or brain cancer, including a little girl. At the time, she was around 10 years old. A good friend of mine died from brain cancer. Another friend of ours, his wife, died from brain cancer. But as far as I know, brain cancer used to be pretty rare. And if I know up to 10 people with brain cancer, then I wonder how many more there are that have brain cancer or brain tumors or other types of diseases.
This just keeps getting crazier and crazier. The more we look into things, the crazier it gets.
Like I said before, I'm the third person in my building to have lupus. My son, when he's finally diagnosed, will be the fourth. Right down to the illnesses, so much of this stuff is so political.
I'm not an activist. I never was. I'm not involved with the environment. The only thing that got me aggravated was when I went to the last meeting, and this girl from the Department of Environmental Protection, and she said that there is no health issue here. After hearing from British Petroleum, right there, ExxonMobil, and Chevron, she's sitting next to them. And I asked her, I said, after this is over, do you all go out to Peter Luger's and have steak together? I said, because you're going to tell me that there's not a health issue here. And I said, and I'm telling you that I'm living on a block in a neighborhood where I have 36 people that have all developed cancer. But I believe whatever happened here and the damage that's over here, the damage is done.
Generally,
the responsible party would be required to deal with it immediately, and there would be enforcement action taken immediately against the responsible party. Here, that really didn't happen. Essentially, up until about a year ago, the DEC seemed to be holding ExxonMobil's hand, because here we have this agency that's delegated with the authority to protect the community from these environmental problems, and it seemed to be sitting on its hands. Not even just sitting on its hands, but taking an active role in defending the corporation's conduct.